the challenges in third world countries have disturbed me. I don't know why. Never been on a mission. Never even knew anybody that had been on a mission. When I watched the television shows years ago, when I stayed up too late and they would show these children with bugs crawling in their eyes and things, I could turn the channel as fast as anybody. But for some reason, those challenges that they face have touched me more than the average person. Again, I don't know why. I came across a book, and I was reading a book, and it re-brought up some of the thoughts that I've had on how fortunate we are, and how every one of us, I mean, we just have it made. It's unbelievable. I don't often quote this person, but Brad Pitt one time had a quote that he said, by being born in this country, you hit the lottery. You didn't purchase the ticket. You didn't do anything. You just were so fortunate just to be born here. And I can remember hearing that quote and thinking, I mean, that's absolutely the truth. I've done nothing. I don't deserve any of this. So after reading this book, it stirred up some feelings, etc. And I had this idea, and I don't have a lot of time, so I won't get into the whole history of it, but my wife doesn't believe too much in coincidences, and we attended a church service where a young gentleman spoke about how he had designed an organization. He actually started it in the Indianapolis area. He went to school here. He's now located in Los Angeles, but he runs something called the Thirst Project. And what they do, Seth Maxwell, his organization puts wells in third world countries. And he works primarily with high schools. And we're sitting here at this church service, and when I read the book, I had actually already made plans to go out to Seattle to visit the president of World Vision to figure out how I can get more involved with these challenges. And it was literally that weekend that this Seth got up on the stage and talked about the challenges and what he does with high schools. And he has a two-pronged platform. One is to educate the youth, and the second is to raise money. The raise money part's pretty obvious. You need money to put these wells in. The second part of it was, in order to eradicate the challenges of water for these third world countries, it's probably not going to happen in my generation, perhaps not in his. So he felt like it was very important to educate the youth. Well, as a result of that, I decided that what I was going to do is we flew Seth back into our office. We developed a missions team. And we decided to see what we could do as a company to help with this project. And as a result of that, I told him in maybe a more polite way that I'm going to say it, is I'm not an educator, I'm not in education, that part I'm not going to do. But we are going to see what we can do to raise money and what we can do to help. So I went to a local high school, which happens to be where the address of our office is, Franklin, Ohio. And I talked to them, and this particular high school was all in. They didn't know what that meant, I didn't know what that meant, but we thought, well, we'll take it somewhere. Then I went to the school where the community where I live, which is Springboro. It is separated by I-75. Even though it's really separated by just that highway, these two schools are very different. The communities are very different. The size of the communities, socioeconomics, a lot of difference. The superintendent of Springboro was all in also. And as a result of that, he came up with an idea that was terrific. He said, why don't we bring these two schools together, and as opposed to a rival, as opposed to seeing who can raise more money, who can do this and compete, why don't we do it together? And why don't we see if we can get enough money to do it well? Now, I told my wife early on in this process that, I'll put a lot of time, energy into this. I'll do everything I can. I mean, this is a passion of mine. However, by no means am I going to Swaziland. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sleep where they sleep. I'm not going to be part of that. And I'm typically an all-in kind of guy. And I'm certainly not going to expose myself to that, because that could really wreck my life, this pampered life I live. Well, because I need to wrap things up, here's where it went. We had an event where the two football teams played each other, and I was starting to doubt how much testosterone was left in my system because I cried like a little baby. And We raised $32,000 in that week leading up to that football game. We had a basketball game and we raised another $6,000, and we have another event. We planned 3 events that I think we'll do well at as well. It has been incredible. A well cost $12,000, and if you can do your math, we have raised enough for 3 wells, and my wife made the decision for us about a month ago that I fly out to Swaziland on November 30th for 10 days when we go out and dedicate 3+ wells. So the reason why I share this with you guys is if you think that you would be interested in having me help you organize the necessary events. I love the platform of 2 schools working together. So if you've got 2 schools that you think that would be neat to not compete, but join together to raise money, I can send you first a video from the 2 superintendents and the impact that they believe that this has done on their schools, their kids, and their community. They said it's absolutely blown their expectations. They never would have thought that this could happen. And like I said, these 2 schools are very different, and this event has really done a nice job. Certainly for the schools, it's done great for the administration and students, but there's a film crew that's going over with us, and after that, who knows, I might be a mess. But I hope you had a chance to stop by our booth, see our new score table, maybe even consider a mobile app. But I want to just, like I said, leave that message with you. So if you have even an ounce of a thought that we can help with this and you'd like to be part of it,